Avengers Endgame Part 1. In the opening, Clint Barton is showing his little girl toxophilism on his detached ranch while his better half readies an excursion lunch for them. Out of nowhere, Clint's little girl disappears and the remainder of Clint's family crumbles, alongside half of all life across the universe, the consequence of Thanos snapping his fingers subsequent to getting each of the 6 boundlessness stones. Cloud and Tony Distinct are abandoned in space following their loss by Thanos on Titan, yet are gotten back to Earth via Toon Danvers and rejoined with Natasha Romanoff, Bruce Standard, Steve Rogers, Rocket, Thor, and James Rhodes. The group figures out how to take the Limitlessness stones back from Thanos and use them to switch his activities, yet learn after finding him that he had utilized the stones as second opportunity to obliterate them, forestalling their further use. He lets the leftover Justice fighters know that he did as such to try not to involve the stones for additional loathsome purposes. Irritated, Thor guillotines Thanos, saying it's what he ought to have done in Wakanda. After 5 years, Scott Lang escapes from the quantum domain to find that his little girl Cassie is currently a young person and that Trust Van Dyne, alongside half of the populace, has vanished in the snap. Rogers has been driving pain advising meetings for survivors actually battling with the impacts of the snap, while Romanoff is indefatigably overseeing both Earth and the remainder of the universe with the assistance of Rhodes, Danvers, Okoye, Rocket, and Cloud. Lang goes to Romanoff and Rogers, and makes sense of that while 5 years had passed for them, just 5 hours had passed for him in the quantum domain and that time extends much diversely there. The three go to Obvious, who is presently bringing up a kid with pepper pots, and makes sense of their hypothesis that the quantum domain can be utilized to travel once more into the past and take the vastness stones before Thanos can gather them. Obvious at first oddballs their proposition with worry about taking a chance with his family and the harmony he has found. However, subsequent to reflecting upon the deficiency of Peter Parker, chooses to test hypothetical models that would work with Lang's quantum burrow, in the end tracking down one that works. With Distinct now ready, the leftover Justice fighters set off on a mission to reassemble their group. Bruce Pennant has now embraced the mass as a piece of him, and has merged his own cognizance and the mass together into one. Romanoff, in the wake of hearing reports from Rhodes of a professional killer that works with comparative strategies to Barton, passes on to track down him. Barton, consumed with sorrow after the deficiency of his family, has been working under the mantle Ronin while mercilessly slaughtering criminal cartels and packs all over the planet to attempt to work on the world that is still left. Natasha tracks down him in Japan and after some persuading, he consents to rejoin the group to attempt to bring his family back. Standard and Rocket go to the unassuming community of New Asgard, where Valkyrie and the last overcomers of Asgard have settled. They there find Thor, who has become overpowered by culpability over neglecting to kill Thanos in Wakanda. Thor has become overweight, his hair and facial hair are congested, and he invests his free energy eating low-quality food, becoming inebriated, and playing Fortnite with his companions Korg and Miek. Thor hesitantly consents to get back to the Vindicators after some persuading from Rocket and Flag. In the wake of testing the quantum time machine on Barton, who affirms that it works, the Vindicators are brought together with an arrangement. Pennant, Rogers, Lang, and Obvious leave to recover the time, brain, and space stones during the Clash of New York in 2012. Standard goes to the Sanctum Sanctorum, where he is educated by the Old One that requiring some investment stone from her course of events would forestall Stephen Odd's future endeavors to prevent Caecilius from obliterating the laws of nature. In any case, when Flag tells her that Bizarre surrendered the Time Stone readily to Thanos, she permits Standard to make them suggest Odd had expected for a particular grouping of occasions to happen for Thanos to be crushed. Pennant additionally guarantees the stones' revisitation of their appropriate timetables to forestall any evil impacts. Lang an unmistakable endeavor to take the Space Stone after the Justice fighters seize it from Loki. Lang gives Distinct's previous self a gentle heart failure by pulling a circuit in his fake heart, while Unmistakable takes the portfolio lodging the Tesseract when no one is looking. Their arrangement is ruined when Distinct drops the folder case after he is inadvertently hit by the mass. Loki then takes the Space Stone and uses it to get away from authority. Rogers prevails with regards to taking the Psyche Stone from secret Hydra specialists, however finds his previous self, who botches him for a hidden Loki,